Hey, good afternoon. I wanted to write a blog on mental toughness, and I was not able to do it. I kept failing. The topic of mental toughness is a subject that I'm really passionate about. It's an intense topic. There's a lot of emotion involved, and I've got a lot of really strong thoughts on mental toughness, and I was just failing again and again to put to paper everything that I wanted to put to paper for you. So I'm going to try a video blog. I have not done one of these before. I'm not really sure how it's going to go. Speaking to an audience is so easy. I love engaging an audience. Speaking to myself in a computer screen is not easy, and I have my dog here. But hey, we'll give it a shot. I'm sure you'll give me some feedback. So mental toughness, what is it? Mental toughness is the ability to do what needs to be done regardless of the conditions. Let that sink in for a second. Nowhere does that imply enjoyment or fun or easy. Doing what needs to be done regardless of the conditions. So how do we develop? We all want to be mentally tough. It's hard to do. It's a skill that sometimes we find escapes us. So how do we build it? Well, there are three ways, and I've talked about some of these ways before. One, do something that nearly kills you. I know that sounds crazy. Two, willfully endure pain. That sounds equally crazy. And three, commit to doing something that's really difficult and elicits a strong emotional response, but that's easy to walk away from. So let me back up to that first one, doing something that kills you. While that's true, it's maybe difficult or outside the norm of what somebody's going to be able to do or want to do. Whether it's from my childhood, my crazy adolescence, to my very crazy young adulthood, throughout my time in the Marine Corps, I have, for better or worse, had tons of near-death experiences. And I don't know why I'm still alive. I probably shouldn't be walking this earth, but for the reason that I don't think that my purpose on this earth has been accomplished yet or has been shown to me yet. So I'm still here. I'd be happy to share stories about how those experiences and that living that life helped me become more mentally strong. But again, it's probably not practical or realistic for a lot of people. So number two, the willful enduring of pain. Again, that sounds extreme. It sounds probably a little outlandish to some of you, but there is some serious truth behind it, and it works. My father was the toughest bastard I ever met. He was very kind and gentle, but just tough. I got to experience his love for 34 years before he passed. In those 34 years, I have not a single memory of that man showing pain, ever. Not one. At first, I thought he just didn't feel pain. I thought maybe he didn't know what it was. He absolutely felt pain. He just never showed it. He never showed pain. And I didn't understand why. It took me years to understand what was going on, but I did. I eventually came to understand what it was about, and so I realized that I needed to start doing this myself as a young man, and I needed to start finding ways to deal with pain and not show the effects of pain. And though I didn't understand what I was accomplishing, I did start to notice that it was changing me as a person, that I was becoming more in control of myself. I was able to control my emotions more. I was becoming a better, more capable, stronger person because I was dealing with this. Again, that's probably not the easiest path for people to go down, or a path that maybe you're willing to go down just yet. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. How do I help people become more mentally tough? How do I give you ways to do it that will work without going to such extremes? And I figured it out. I've got two great ways for you. The third method is committing to doing something that's really freaking hard, that's just absolutely miserable, and elicits a very strong emotional response, and is very easy to walk away from without doing. In fact, like if you never did it, nobody would ever know that you didn't do it. I'll give you two examples of that: kettlebell swings and taking cold showers. Now, one of the things I said about this method was it needed to elicit a strong emotional response, and there's a reason for that. We do our best learning. We retain the most information when we are in an emotionally heightened state. When we are feeling emotional, that's when the imprinting occurs. In the Marine Corps, we always got people fired up before we trained them. When we wanted to teach somebody how to fight, or a new system of fighting, or a set of tactics, we got them fired up. We fired them up with an emotional story. We got them physically charged up to get them emotionally fired up. because we wanted to tap into their emotions. We wanted to tap into the mammalian brain, the oldest part of the brain where memories are formed. When you do that, when you tap into the emotion, we open up our psyche and our brains to imprinting. And this is important because I'm asking you to build mental toughness. And part of this is relying on the ability to make a tough decision under very tough circumstances. And every time you make that tough decision, I want you to remember it. So we've got to tap into the emotion so that you remember and you start to imprint that success comes from making these tough decisions in tough situations. So where the hell does this kettlebell swing and cold shower come in? Let's talk about the kettlebell swing first. Kettlebell swings are awesome. Heavy kettlebell swings are even more awesome. One of the reasons I want you to use a kettlebell swing is the hinge, which is the basis of our dynamic hardstyle kettlebell swing, is a fairly simple movement to learn. And once you learn it, it's really easy to maintain that movement. As opposed to a squat, a clean, a deadlift, a snatch. Those are much more difficult to maintain when you're tired. The basic hinge is pretty easy once you have it on lockdown to maintain throughout your fatiguing. So it's a safe exercise to use, and it's one of those beautiful exercises where you can keep doing it again and again and again. You can almost always do another rep. It's a matter of willpower. It's a matter of how badly do you want it. So how would this work? I want you to take a kettlebell that's heavy, really heavy, and I want you to do big chunks of it. I'm talking about sets of 50, and I want you to do multiple sets of 50, and I want you to do these multiple times per week, maybe 2 days on, 1 day off. Maybe you just do it once a week with a really heavy kettlebell where these sets of 50 just absolutely kill you. And you know what it's like when you do this massive set of kettlebell swings with a heavy weight. Your forearms start burning. Your glutes are on fire. Your hamstrings feel like they're going to tear out of the freaking, tear off the back of your damn femur bone. Your lower back starts to fire up. You get tired. Your lungs start burning. You know what it's like to do heavy kettlebell swings again and again. And think back to what they feel like. It's so easy to set the damn kettlebell down. At the top of the swing, you've got that moment of rest where it's just like, oh my God, this is it. I can't do it anymore. And then in the bottom of that swing, when the kettlebell is just inches from the ground is always there, just begging you to set the kettlebell down. It's saying, set me down, set me down. So you're tempted again and again and again to set the kettlebell down. And the magic happens in not setting it down and just doing one more swing. When you do finally get to your end of 50, there's going to be this huge temptation to not do it again, to just walk away. Again, nobody knows whether you're walking away or whether you're choosing to do another set. Only you know. Only you can make that decision. Only you can be the one that makes it happen, and you've got to make it happen. Yet there's nothing to force you to do it. There's just this huge temptation to walk away and say that was enough. So putting together big sets of these heavy kettlebell swings will really help you become more mentally tough, because the emotion that you get when you know you're going to be doing these heavy swings, how miserable it is, the emotion combined with you saying yes to doing another one starts to imprint success. It starts to imprint in your psyche and in your brain that you always say yes, you always are willing to take on a challenge. If the kettlebell swing is going to work for you, cold showers. Cold showers, I would say, are even better than the kettlebell swings. If you haven't taken an ice cold shower, it is like an absolute punch to the face. Pardon me 1 second, my dog is starting to annoy the hell out of me. Chesty, you got to go. Get, go on, good boy. Taking a cold shower is like a punch in the face. I'm not talking about walking into a warm shower and then slowly turning it on and making it colder. I'm talking about turning that damn thing on and walking in to cold water. The cold water here runs between 36 and 38 degrees, depending on the day. When you walk into that water, it's like a baseball bat to your guts, man. It just sucks all the wind out of you. You stop breathing. It's incredible what it does to you. It's painful. After you get your first cold shower under your belt, you're not going to want to do this again. You're not going to want to experience that trauma again, because it's tough. It gets painful. Like the water running on your head, it starts to suck the blood out of your scalp and your brain starts to hurt. Fellas, you're going to feel your nuts start to get pulled up into your body because you're so damn cold. It's trying to protect itself and keep itself warm. All the blood comes out of your extremities. Your fingers, your toes start getting cold as the blood sucks into your internals to keep yourself warm. It is hard to do this to yourself again and again. So after you do that first one, the emotional response that you're going to get thinking about having to take that cold shower, the misery that you know you're about to go through, you're not going to want to do it. And that's where the magic happens, forcing yourself to do it, even though nobody will know different. Nobody will know whether you took the shower or not. Nobody in here knows whether I'm taking cold showers or not. And that's where the magic happens. I do it, and that's what makes me more mentally tough, by forcing myself to do this horrible, hard thing that creates all this emotion in me, and yet I choose to do it again. And the success that I find in making this small decision to take a shower is what sets the stage for being able to make tougher, larger decisions. And that sets the stage for making tougher, harder decisions. So it builds upon each other. The small success, the small habit of success of saying yes and going in and taking that cold shower or doing those heavy sets of kettlebell swings, those small successes are what set us up for the larger successes and being able to take on more work, doing what needs to be done, no matter the conditions, again and again and again. And I'll tell you something else. It's got to be practiced. It's not as though once you become mentally tough, poof, you're mentally tough for the rest of your life. It doesn't happen that way. You've got to maintain and practice mental toughness just like you practice your cleans, you practice martial arts, you practice fighting, you practice religion. Everything that is of value in your life requires work and practice and must be maintained. And mental toughness is no different. Mental toughness can be lost. We can get weak. We can start to get soft and take things for granted. Mental toughness has to be maintained. And again, that's the reason I wanted to find a couple ways for you to maintain this and to build it and create it so that you could do this. So these cold showers and these kettlebell swings, this is an easy way to maintain and even increase your mental toughness. It's something you can give a shot. I encourage you to do so. I think you guys are doing an awesome job. All you folks that come in really regularly and are very consistent with your training, your schedule, that is a display of mental toughness. This could be a great way for you to up your game a little bit and to improve your mental toughness. And for my folks out there that are not yet getting in as consistently as they'd like, and you're trying to do better, this is a great way to increase your mental toughness and to start getting in the gym more often with some consistency. So there's a couple more things I want to talk about. I think I'm going to save this for the next vlog. I think this turned out pretty well. I'm sure you'll let me know. But what I plan on talking about is how mental toughness is really the foundation for discipline. Mental toughness is the foundation for dedication. Mental toughness is the foundation for desire and for achieving goals. And I've got some interesting thoughts on that and how my thinking has been shaped and how it's changed over the years between the relationship with mental toughness and those 3 Ds. Discipline, determination, and desire. So thanks for listening. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. You guys have a great day. I'll see you in the gym.